The Jackets over the weekend get a split, losing a big game against Pittsburgh, but coming back and winning against the Carolina Hurricanes on Saturday night. Tonight, the Avalanche come a-calling to 200 West Nationwide Boulevard as the Jackets take on the Avs starting at 7 o'clock. The madness of March has finally struck it, but we're now in April, and the final four is the table for four is set, as well as so much more. But, of course, it's opening weekend baseball! You know what that means! It's time to talk Tribe and Tigers, and so much more. So welcome to All Andy Alfred right here on Clayfan 2-3. Let's hit it up!
I didn't see it coming, the kiss was so unpredictable. Maybe it's the mystery in you that I'm addicted to. It's overrated going somebody so good takes away the fire. Yeah, it's funny when you tell me you don't think you're all that interesting. I beg to differ with you, I'm out here on the edge of my seat, and every minute guessing, holding my breath, fueling that fire. And baby, I'm a wild card, a perfect little testifier. You're my first spark, shot in the dark, favorite part of everything. And baby, you're a sweet surprise, looking like a shooting star. You're so free, just
These guys get an action on Friday. Unfortunately, we won't be covering it. We'll give you all the insight starting on Saturday for a special edition of All Andy Alfred. And I love you guys, and welcome into another edition of All Andy Alfred from the beautiful Man Cave Studios in East Toledo. This is your exclusive home for All Andy Alfred, right here, a production of Clayfan 2-3. I am your host, Andy Alfred, welcoming you into the Man Cave Studios, and beforehand, hello, ladies, and welcome into the program. Of course, we got a lot to get into. Of course, gonna recap what happened for the Jackets coming up tonight against the Avs. Also, talk a little bit about the March Madness Bracket Challenge as well too. We only have 3 participants left who have the national championship correct. 3 right, but Old Man Shaggy still leading as one of his brackets. But 3 competitors left, and one of them is N-Man 902, as well as yours truly, and the Mars Bar as well is in the running as well too. So we're getting down to the final wire for March Madness and NCAA basketball. But last night was opening day. Yesterday was opening day, and the Tigers roared. You're gonna hear them roar, Ryan State picked up a big victory yesterday afternoon against the Kansas City Royals, 4-3. Joe Nathan gets the win. He goes to now 1-0. Davis gets the loss. He goes to 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA. Victor Martinez had a 2-run bomb in the second inning that went into the right field stands. Beautiful home run, his first of the season. Verlander went 6 innings, giving up 6 hits on 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 strikeouts, with his ERA now at a 3. Game time was 3 hours and 5 minutes. 45,068 were in attendance at Comerica Park. Now the Tigers are off tonight. They'll continue the series against Kansas City starting on Wednesday. It will be Vargas on the hill for the Kansas City Royals. They'll take on Max Scherzer, the reigning Cy Young Award winner. 1:08 start time on FSN Detroit, or head up to Detroit. It's going to be a nice day on Wednesday. Thursday, a little bit less of a story. Looks like a 100% chance of rain on Thursday, as it will be Ventura for Kansas City. He will take on Anibal Sanchez, who had the best record ERA to end the season, the best ERA record in all the American League. We'll see if his dominance continues as well. And then Friday, of course, Detroit takes on Baltimore, another 1:08 start time. It will be Rick Porcello on the hill for the Tigers. Baltimore has not yet named the starter. So I have to pose this question to you the fans. After the impressive start, a little bit of a sluggish start for Verlander, of course, you think that the Tigers have a legitimate 1-2-3 combo in pitching. I think they do. Scherzer's a very, very good candidate. They need to wrap him up. They need to get him down for a contract. But with the Cabrera deal going down, it looks like this is his last year in Detroit. So he's got to make a big move somehow, some way. But I think Scherzer is pretty much a done deal for him to leave Detroit at the end of the season. We'll see what his first start looks like tomorrow at 1:08. Well, the A's were blanked by Justin Masterson and the Cleveland Indians as the Indians win 2-0 off of a rally in the 7th, late innings. Allen gets the win. He goes to 1-0 with a 0 ERA. Johnson gets the loss. He goes to 0-1 with a 54.00 ERA. Unbelievable. No home runs were hit in the game. Masterson for the Tribe went 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, no earned, 1 strikeout, 4 walks. His ERA is at a 4 ERA right now. With a game time was 3 hours and 15 minutes. 36,067 were in attendance at the Q Stadium in Oakland. Well, tonight the Tribe will get back into action. It will be Corey Kluber on the hill for the Tribe. They'll take on the former Cleveland Indians star Scott Kazmir. 10:05 start time on Sports Time Ohio. Then the concluding game of the series will be Jesse Sanchez for Oakland. He'll take on Zach McAllister. 3:35 start time for that game. We will be on the air with you guys tomorrow during that game, of course, to recap the Tiger game as well, and so much more, including the Jackets games as well. But yesterday, a big day in baseball. A lot of teams were in action yesterday. Here's your recap. Pittsburgh was a winner 1-0 over the Chicago Cubs. Seeing the first instant replay used took about 58 seconds, and the officials got the call correct, and that was very interesting to say the least. Washington was a winner 9-7 over the New York Mets in extra innings. Philadelphia putting up some football numbers as they win 14-10 over the Texas Rangers. Prince Fielder going 1 for 3 in that game. The former Tiger. Milwaukee 2, Atlanta nothing. And I want to get into this. Ryan Braun gets a standing ovation by the Brewer faithful. Once a cheater, always a cheater, my friends. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And the fans of Milwaukee give him a standing ovation when he comes to the plate. And he goes, tips his cap, waves. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Boston was a loser to Baltimore 2-1. Nelson Cruz, the former PED user as well, too, hits a home run, his first of the season. Brady Sizemore, the former Cleveland Indians center fielder, hits a home run in the game. His first home run since September 22nd, 2011. That was his last game played in the major leagues until yesterday. Minnesota was a loser to the Chicago White Sox 5-3. St. Louis puts on a good performance. Wainwright versus Cueto. That was a really, really good pitching matchup yesterday afternoon in the Queen City, and Cincinnati getting the loss 1-0. Toronto 2, Tampa Bay 9. Colorado was a loser to the Miami Marlins 10-1, and Seattle puts up 10 runs against the Angels 10-3. Tonight it will be the Dodgers taking on the Padres. Colorado is again at Miami. The New York Yankees, the last season for Derek Jeter, as they'll start their season against the Houston Astros. Toronto is at Tampa Bay. Philadelphia is in Texas. Atlanta is in Milwaukee. San Francisco in Arizona. Of course, we got Cleveland versus Oakland. That is Kluber versus Kazmir. 10:05 start time, and rounding it out is Seattle and LA. And of course, the Mudhens get back into action starting this season. Starts the opening day season on April the 4th in downtown Toledo for opening day, as they'll take on the Louisville Bats at 4 o'clock. Weather forecast looks like a mess. It's what's going to be. Mostly it's going to be a rain event all day in T-Town. Looks like they might push this game back or maybe cancel it. Hope for a cancellation. I'd like to see a double dip on Saturday. That would be pretty awesome to see in the opener and the Saturday evening game, because I know the Walleye are on the road. Well, speaking of the fish, And speaking of hockey, the Jackets need to win tonight. They need to win tonight. A lot is in stake, especially for tomorrow. Detroit plays Boston tomorrow night at Boston. At the Joe. Boston, one of the best teams in all of hockey, can destroy the Red Wings. And tonight, the Jackets can get a big win. Jared Bull back in the lineup tonight for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He'll make a start as well, too. And with Matt Duchene out for the Colorado Avalanche, I look to see the Jackets maybe prevailing in this game and picking up a big victory tonight at Nationwide. They need to get onto the pace early. They need to cover up their details as well, too, passing the puck, making quick line chases, and staying out of the penalty box. If they do that, the Jackets will win this game against Colorado tonight. If they will play Colorado 47-21-6 with 100 points in the Western Conference. Columbus 38-30-6 with 82 points. They are holding the second wild card position. By the way, Hunter Hayes for a wild card. That's our wild card song. But last night in the NHL, Ottawa was a winner 2-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes in a shootout. New Jersey 6, Florida 3. Winnipeg was a loser to Anaheim 5-4, and Minnesota wins 3-2 over the LA Kings. Now tonight, here are some other notable games happening in the NHL for you guys to look out for. Dallas is in Washington. Washington holding the third position in the wild card. Game time 7 o'clock. Calgary and Toronto 7 o'clock, and the choke job done by the Toronto Maple Leafs is a very, very key move for them right now. Philadelphia is in St. Louis at 8 o'clock. That game on NBCSN. And New York is on the road. They'll take on the Vancouver Canucks tonight at 10 o'clock. Looking at the standings right now, speaking of which, in the wild card position in the NHL right now, Boston leads the Atlantic Division. They are 52-17-6 with 110 points. Montreal is 43-26-7 with 93 points. Tampa Bay in third, 41-25-9 with 91 points. In the Metropolitan Division, Pittsburgh clinching a spot already after the win they got on Friday night over the Blue Jackets. They're now 48-22-5 with 101. The Rangers are now 42 in second place with a record of 42-30-4, 88 points. Philadelphia is in third place. They're 39-27-8 with 86 points. Wildcard positions look like this. Washington is in third. They're 34-28-13 with 81 points. Toronto, fourth place, 36-32-8 with 80 points. The top two positions, Detroit, with their win on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Lightning, are now 35-28-14 with 84 points. Our Blue Jackets are 38-30-6 with 82 points. Jackets coming off that win on Saturday night over Carolina improved their regulation overtime wins with 33. Detroit with 30. And Detroit and Columbus hypothetically owns the. If it was a tie, they would own the first place wildcard position. But with Detroit with 2 more points, Detroit owns a higher position as well, too. Looking at the Western Conference, it's pretty much locked up right now. All that's left is for LA to clinch, of course, and the 2 wildcard positions. St. Louis, Colorado, and Chicago. Tops in the Central. St. Louis with 107. Colorado, like I mentioned, 100 points. Chicago with 99. And now with the injury to Taves, Taves is out for a little bit. It'll be very interesting to see how the Hawks will do now in this going towards the end of the season. Anaheim and San Jose in 1-2 in the Pacific. LA in third with 94 points. They can wrap up a spot tonight as well, too, or their next game that they play. Minnesota and Phoenix in action tonight. And then the top, Minnesota and Phoenix in the 2 wildcard positions, my apologies. Minnesota with 89, Phoenix with 84. Dallas on the outside looking in. And if Dallas can get a big win tonight over Washington, it would help us, help themselves to get back in the wild card position, and a Vancouver win over New York would help us out a little bit as well, too. So a lot of scoreboard watching tonight in the NHL, as well as scoreboard watching on the ice as well in Toledo. The Toledo Walleye get back into action tonight after getting a 2-game winning streak. A 2-game winning streak against Kalamazoo. By the way, Kalamazoo's already clinched. So they can play and lose as many games as they want. They've already clinched a playoff spot. Oh, they clinched. Toledo in action tonight. They'll take on the Wheeling Nailers at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that game on 1230 WCWA, an iHeart radio station. You can also listen to it tomorrow night as well, too. They'll conclude the series against Wheeling at 7 o'clock as well. And then, of course, they return home Friday to take on the Fort Wayne Comets. 7:15 start time. If you have your Mud Hen ticket, of course, you know it's going to be, and you're going to go, you have the double play package. You know you're going to have to leave a little early from that Mud Hen game. You might not even go to the Mud Hen game. They might rain it out. And I can understand. You know, when I saw that they made this package, I said, this is the stupidest idea I've ever seen in my entire life. We've had the nicest weather the last 2 days, on Monday and today on Tuesday. Why couldn't we play a Mud Hen opening day on Monday or Tuesday? And here's a better idea. Opening days are during the day. Why is this scheduled at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Opening day is opening day. You play at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You do not play at 4 o'clock in Canada day. I call that a late evening game. An early evening game. I don't understand what Napoli wants to do. What we're hearing within the Walleye organization, they are looking for a head coach. And by the way, it was announced today that the Hawks will leave the Walleye affiliation. This is breaking today. Of course, it is breaking. The Indianapolis Fuel, the Indy Fuel, the new team in the East Coast Hockey League, will now hold the affiliation of the Chicago Blackhawks. That means that the Hawks will be the affiliate of the Toledo Walleye. So best of luck to the Hawks affiliation as well too. I know one person is probably going to be a little upset about that, but I've gotten comments over this on Twitter as well too about how I think the restructuring of the East Coast Hockey League should go down. And I'll admit it right now. I'll tell you right now. I like the format that I have set up with just being Kalamazoo, Toledo, and the three Indy teams. There'll be the 5-team race. And then you move Cincinnati to the other division with Reading, Wheeling, Elmira, and Cincinnati. Make it 4, 5, 4, and 4 down in the southern region with Orlando, Florida, South Carolina, Greenville. And yeah, the 4 make it 5, 4, and 4 in the American Eastern Conference. What is once was the American Eastern Conference. Now it's the East and the Western Conference. But we have a lot to get into for tomorrow's program. Of course, we'll recap the Blue Jacket game tonight. See if the Jackets can get a big victory tonight, as well as seeing if the Tribe can continue their winning ways. We'll break down a little bit more of this Vargas-Scherzer matchup for tomorrow. It'll be a little bit of a later start for All Andy Alfred tomorrow on the program as well. And so much more. I hope you have a great evening. Go out and enjoy some adult beverages. Enjoy the baseball coverage that's out there right now. It is opening week. Of course, the Tribe get into their home opener on Friday night afternoon. They'll take on the Minnesota Twins. That's a 3:05 start time for that game. It'll be very interesting to see if they'll play that game with how bad the weather's supposed to be here and there. We'll see how that works out. But I am Andy Alfred, and I hope you have a terrific evening. Go Jackets! Go Tigers! Go Tribe! Roll Tribe! And to your team, and to the teams behind me, victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat, and I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. It's so nice outside, I might go hit a bucket of golf balls. I hope you have a good evening. And I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of All Andy Alfred. Love you guys. Hunter, why don't you take me out?
Suspecting dreamer just marching through my everyday. You don't follow any leaders, you make your mark, you make a change. You can say that I was living, oh, but baby, now I'm living the life. Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.